Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to one of my favorite shows because I have a heart for veterans. It's our veteran centric show, Heroes Always Welcome. My co host with the most, Enrique Acosta Gonzalez, may or may not join us today, but that's okay. He's an amazing guy. You can go to triadleadershipsolutions.com to find out more about him. But our special guest today is an old friend of the TED Show, an old friend in general, the one and only Kevin Strawter. We're going to hear about Kevin's journey. You can find out about him if you go to facebook.com/kevin.strawter. And we're going to talk about his transition out of the military. We're going to talk about what he's doing now. The whole point of the show is really to put a spotlight on our vets and what they're doing and how they have transitioned from military service back into civilian life, because it can be a struggle. It can be a difficult place to be. And so we want to give you some tools and some ideas and maybe some insights and encouragement to get there. Welcome, Kevin. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Glad to be here on the other side of you here.
I'm happy for you to be here.
Yes, sir.
You have been on the show in the past. This particular show, you were both members of VA Rep. We'll talk a little bit about that. But you give back a tremendous amount to the community, and you are a vet. So without further ado, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your military service. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty of transitioning out and what you're doing now.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Ted. I served my country for 30 years,
Wow.
1981 to 2011. Beautiful journey. My job was I was a scheduler. I schedule airplanes to fly, shoot missiles, drop bombs, air refuel. Actually, if you see my Facebook page, you'll see an air refueler in the background. They were called tankers. So I did some air refueling, some special operations, and my journey was Vance Air Force Base, Oklahoma. From there, I went to Panama. Did quite a bit of time there in Panama. Had a chance to travel to every Central and South America country. I fool people. I speak Spanish. I lived there long enough, and also I'm a realtor as well. So I've also, when I left Panama, was at where was that? Andrews Air Force Base. And from Andrews, I went to the Panhandle, Eglin, Duke Field, Herbert Field. And I homesteaded there for 17 years.
Wow.
And that was another best time of my life because I like to fish, especially in 300 feet of water and catching big snappers like that. It's just a bunch of joy. So I learned a lot, and there in my travels, buying homes, selling homes, and I've learned a lot there. Ran into a lot of good friends there, and I still maintain the friendship and the bond that I have with them. And just to enjoy and travel to every country in Central and South America to see the cultures, and the people are happy. They're very content with what they have. And I highly encourage folks to just go to these countries, especially Central and South America, because they are very happy and content with what they have. Whereas here, we're in traffic, everybody's
I know it's a different speed of life there.
yeah,
I feel like.
absolutely.
So
And the
30
people,
years is a long
it
time.
went
Thank you
by. It went
for
by
your
like that.
service. No, I appreciate it. Very much so, your service. Tell us about when you made the decision to get out, or when you did go out. Did you know what you were going to do when you got out of service?
Um, yes and no. When I transitioned, um, actually, I was a realtor while I was in at 2005. I was highly encouraged by my wife to get my license, and because of the transition of going from active duty to military life and taking that what I've learned from both cases with the military and the home buying, I could help veterans. And so
Nice.
I kept going higher and higher and higher as the years kept going. And I learned a whole lot more. And then I learned to understand and then give back to veterans. And that's why right now, that's why I joined VA Rep where I'm at, because we're advocates for veterans. And it's the next best thing to being in. And that's one of the reasons why I joined VA Rep. So my career, it just soared and soared. And here's the highlight of my career, Ted. When I got a promotion and came here, I got here in 2009. As I told you, I was a scheduler. I was at Cape Canaveral. So I was actually scheduling the space shuttle and missiles into space. So in 2005, when I was at Eglin, my boss announced that he was selected to be an astronaut, and we had a big party. I get here in 2009, and here I'm scheduling his first mission and last mission to go to the telescope Hubble to do the repairs. And that was the Atlantis, which is now retired and hanging at Kennedy Space Center, and I schedule it.
Isn't that
So,
amazing?
so Kennedy's, I mean, Cape Canaveral is nothing more than like a science college. And I just take joy in being a part of us talking on cell phones. We deployed those satellites into space. And it's just so much we did. It's like I said, it's science college there. When they say 1142 liftoff, they mean 1142 liftoff because as the shuttle's going up, the Earth is rotating. So time, space, and distance. A little bit of quick history: 17,500 miles an hour, 20 minutes to California to New York. And we felt the sonic boom every time it came
We
in
did.
the atmosphere. I asked Mike, I said, I had a chance to meet that whole crew. I says, I could talk to him like this, Mike, because it's Colonel Good, General Good. And he said, I said, Mike, how does it feel coming out of space, into the orbit and the atmosphere? It's like a fast roller coaster ride, you know. Yeah, they don't even feel the sonic boom. They're going so fast,
That's unbelievable.
and just at 20 minutes, California to New York. Google STS 125 and STS 132. Those are the two missions that he was on that I scheduled. And I've learned so much when I was there just for those 2 years and just played a part in the history books just by scheduling the space shuttle.
You did. I mean, you had your living history, which I love. I love to hear that. That part I don't think I remember. I don't think if I knew that or not. And I
I
love
don't
the
think I
fact
revealed that to you. That's my
I
secret
don't
weapon
think
for you
you
today.
did. I love it. But what I love about when you speak about it, you speak about it happily and
Oh yeah.
joyfully. Was the transition out of service easy for you?
So
Did you find it to be difficult? Because a lot of vets, they get out and the brotherhood sisterhood's not there anymore. Um, their job that they were trained for in service doesn't equate out in civilian corporate America. What was your experience like?
oh my gosh, I'm telling you, that's a very good question. So when I got here, I two things have happened. I didn't realize it, but as the years went on, it hit me. It was like I had a mild case because I live in St. Cloud and Cape Canaveral's on the other side. I just commuted. So it was like coming here and seeing transits with carts and their home belongings in there and underneath a bridge with a red light. And I look up and there's somebody just kind of sit up, rise up, and they're sleeping up there.
Yeah.
So it was like I've been around military bases my whole career, and I had planes over my head flying. And I get here. This is where it kicks in. I did not feel safe. Okay, and being up in the Panhandle, I was a fish head. I told you, I was gone. I was on yachts. I was gone, 300 feet of water. I actually had to go to Winn-Dixie and buy fish. That was PTSD. I had to buy fish where I had a deep sea freezer. So,
Wow.
and I'm battling the realtor thing because I was told a lot about how realtors are. I mean, there's good realtors, there's some shady realtors. So I had to go through that transition, because and there was people approached me and they were all in resistance because of what they already went through. So I had to go through that transition, and it took me 3 years to brand myself. And I recall it was the scripture, Matthew, I believe it's 11:23 to 25. Believe in your prayer before you pray, and it shall come to pass. Just paraphrasing. And it's like I labeled that to my forehead. And I was driving, driving, driving every day. And one morning I woke up and it was like, Kevin, it was like God speaking to me, stop stressing because keep doing what you're doing because they are indirectly promoting you. And I say that because I ran into a buyer from Canada back in '09 when the market was cheap, 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 cheap. And they said, 60,000 bucks. He says, I ran to the agent. He didn't want to help me because he told me it was enough money for him. I'm like, what? I helped her. I think it was maybe 9 to 11 months later, I'm getting referrals, just for helping them. So that was a transition I was going through as a realtor and a transition I was going to just as a civilian coming here, going through life. The deeper I migrate into Kissimmee, the more I see transits. And it was just a mindset.
Yeah.
And then it was a blessing to join VA Rep. I felt at home, you know.
About VA Rep. What does VA Rep stand for? And then talk a little bit about it because it's a unique organization within the real
Oh,
estate community.
yes, Veterans Association Real Estate Professionals. You can type varep.net, that's VAREP.net, and they have chapters all over the United States, and we're the Central Florida chapter. I'm community outreach, and we're advocates for veterans. Whether you need a companion dog or some advice on buying a home, you don't have to be a realtor to be a VA rep. A regular civilian, you could be a patriot, okay, and just join, and you can just see and feel a camaraderie. We're on one accord. We're advocates for veterans. We have lunch and learns once a month all over Central Florida, different topics. So it's not all military. There's some for civilians too. Like we've done some with Katrina Scarborough for property appraiser, and you get
Yes.
educated there, lunch and learns. So we have different topics all pretty much every month all over Central Florida.
They'll do VA Rep does our chapter does such a fantastic job of really trying to get out there and reach the veterans. As you know, sometimes veterans have told me that sometimes it's difficult. They don't know where to go for resources. There's way too many if you Google it, you're going to get lost in that whole minutia. And so to have a resource, to have a beginning place like VA Rep is
Mhm.
really a blessing to them. And I want more people to know about it. That's why another reason why I'm excited for you to be on the show. And just like Kevin said, you don't have to be a veteran to be part. You can be a patriot and be a supporter and join. But you can also be part of the outreach and part of all the community work that VA Rep does in order to promote and spotlight and help out our veterans. Tell me
Right.
about, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we do have a couple of positions open too. I believe secretary we have open now, and I believe we need an audio visual person there as well to help along with what we do have. But you had a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's good. So varep.net, which I will also put in the body of the post of the show so that you guys can reach out. And it's the Orlando network, right?
Central Florida.
Central Florida.
Mhm.
Um, on the veteran side, if a veteran's watching the show, can you give them any kind of maybe insight or maybe an idea or two of what you think would help the transition be easier? Maybe they're struggling. They came out, they've got 30 years experience in it, just doesn't equate out here in the quote unquote real world. Maybe some tools or tricks that you used. I know you're a faith-based man, so that is part of who you are. But anything that you can give them an insight on, maybe something that they should think about, a book they should read, or something that you did to help with the transition.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ted, I don't know if you know, I wrote a ton of books. Probably about 8 books, and I have one. I don't think. Hold on, I think I have one here. Homes for Heroes. So this is buying a home, VA, and that's me on the front cover right there. I
Love
was a
it.
kid flying from Brazil back to Panama, and if let me put it up there real close there.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep, and this here on the back this is when I retired there. I don't know if you can see that there, but this book right here is worth its weight in gold, and I'll be able to email it to you or whatever. I have it on ebook as well to help veterans. This is about buying VA. So this is 18 years of my realtor experience I poured into this book here, and exclusively for veterans buying VA. And I'm also see my name, Kevin Strawter, right there. You can TikTok me there. Just TikTok Kevin Strawter, Highway of Information. A lot of different subjects. Just keep you up on the market. Roller coaster ride it is, and when you come in, I'm ready. But I exclusively love veterans. I just recently had a veteran from Kenya reach out to me.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. He Googled and out of the blue, and it's something about meeting a veteran. It's something special, and I say this from experience. It's like they don't have to do a DNA test on me because we're already connected. Just find the house,
That's right.
and it's just joy when I meet a veteran. I mean, Ted,
We all
it's
have a connection. You all have a connection.
yeah,
That is, you if you haven't served, you don't know. You can only see it, but you don't experience it. You guys have a trust, a bond that's automatic.
absolutely. It's just beyond any type of measure because they already know they're in safe hands.
Yes.
With a veteran, meet a veteran. And Ted, I live at Home Depot here in St. Cloud. They repaved the parking lots a couple years ago with the COVID and all that stuff, and they took away all our veteran spots and put back a Purple Heart, and then had curbside, more handicap spots. I fought nail and tooth for 8 months for our slots back. I drive up one day, there they are. I'm like, oh gosh,
We need advocates like you, and that's why this show is so important, because those
yeah,
are struggles I wouldn't have thought of. But that's it's such an honor to be around vets, and I want you all to get all of the things for the sacrifices you've made and your families have made as well. So kudos to you for that. You're just a giant advocate. It's always such a joy for you to share, Kevin. And I appreciate your service, and I appreciate everything you continue to do. You
absolutely.
live, eat, and breathe helping veterans. That's what you
Yes, sir.
do, and you can't help but be joyful and happy when you're around you. You want to get involved. You want to roll up your sleeves. So tell them the best way that they can find out more about you. Again, you can give your cell phone if you want. You can give your email
Sure.
address. Anything you want to share with them.
Sure, I'm all out there. You can TikTok my name, which is on the screen. Instagram, Kevin underscore Strawter. Um, Facebook, Kevin Sells Florida, Kevin Selling Florida, Kevin Selling Central Florida. You can't miss me. And my personal page, I have a business page, Kevin Sells Florida, but my personal page that you see that Ted has on the bottom is Kevin Strawter, whatever it is there, Kevin Strawter,
It's
Kevin.
facebook.com/Kevin.Strawter.
Right, it's there, and you'll see you can subscribe to my free ebook for buying home buyings for veterans. So it's all there, and I'll be more than happy to send you an ebook. I'm just everywhere. As long as God give me breath, I'm here to help, veterans and educate, especially Ted. My TikToks are off the chain.
Good.
Yes.
TikTok. Listen,
Yes.
I didn't realize how powerful TikTok was till I got on it. So good for you. I'll have to subscribe. I think
Yeah.
that's important for people to know too. Any resource, you have to meet everybody where they need to be met at. And the younger vets, especially, I guarantee you, they're definitely on TikTok.
Absolutely.
They need all of the older vets, not you're old, Kevin, but the older vets,
Hey,
the
hey,
more seasoned vets, they need your guidance. And that's what this show is all
And
about. And that's
so
why
let me give my disclaimer before you watch me on TikTok. Put your seatbelt on. Get ready for a ride.
I love it. All right, Kevin, always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for your service and for what you do in our community. If you have a veteran out there who's struggling, I will get you in touch with Kevin. We'll get you in touch with VA Rep. We want you to have the resources. If you have a veteran that you think would be great on the show, we'd love to have him or her on. We're just so thankful for your service, and we want to spotlight that and help you all figure out what to do in the crazy corporate world that is not veteran centric a lot of the time. So thank you, Kevin. We'll be
Yes,
back
sir.
soon. You guys have a great one. God bless everybody.